There is an anecdote which always motivates me. Ideas are easy and implementation is very hard. This evening, we have Mr. Jayant Kumar, a CEO and Managing Director of TechnoPro India Operations. He brings his international experience of new business models for a startup company from audiences worldwide. Jayant's evolution on his business and the way he has chiseled himself inspires both entrepreneurs and policymakers on pathway to a startup. Mr. Jayant has been a pioneer in setting up TechnoPro India operations by enhancing global business through Global Delivery Center under the corporate mission and visions of globalization. TechnoPro India is one of the group companies of TechnoPro Holdings Japan, whose business objectives are based on technology, people, and customer. Mr. Jayant's rich experience and expertise in the automotive industry has been instrumental in delivering high-end customer values in digital engineering, automotive and manufacturing engineering, and EV solutions as well. Also, at TechnoPro India, they are they are unique service providers of complete EV solutions, core IT services, mechanical engineering, AI, and ML services. Their Japanese quality control and robust processes makes their organization a true market leader. Also, Mr. Jayant is a seasonal bilingual business leader as well. Before TechnoPro Japan, he was a COO of Elevation Direct Corporation in Tokyo. He was a country manager of NIT Technologies and was also responsible for business transformation, managing overall Japanese geography, people management, JPAC strategic, relationship management, and new strategy implementation. He was also associated with Oracle Japan Limited as senior manager, global strategic accounts. He was responsible for ensuring delivery of high quality customer service for assigned global accounts in APAC. Also, he's been associated with NIT Technologies as Business Development Director and has been associated as the Regional Manager of Satyam Computer Services Limited. He started his career as a senior team member at Amex, and here he is today. Jayant will help us to walk through about startups in the way that informs, entertains, and inspires its audiences. He specializes in creative business models for startups, IT businesses, and technology enterprises, especially on the digital world. In addition, he is also a business advisor with startups, and he also shares some successful business models from worldwide. Over to you, Jayant, for the evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Shravanti, and thanks for the introduction. And I would like to start with the greetings to all the audience, all the participants here, all the organizers, and therefore thanks for this opportunity. I being the alumni of IIMB Bangalore, it's a great platform to know each other. That's very, very important. And it's also important for supporting each other, knowing each other, who is doing what, and learning from each other. It's an excellent networking platform, at the same time, excellent platform to share the knowledge. So with your permission, probably I would like to start my presentation. Can I go ahead?
Sure, Jayant, please.
Is my screen visible to everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, friends, colleagues, associates, entrepreneurs, businessmen, I welcome everybody to this session. Let me tell you, I have spent 22 years, quality 22 years in a country like Japan. And I have spent almost like 27 plus years of my career in working with the Japanese customers. Out of 27 years, 5 or 6 years I have worked in India with American Express, and after that I have moved out of India to serve in Japanese market. And through Japanese market, I got an opportunity to travel all across Europe, uh, US, Israel, APAC, and that has given me an excellent opportunity to know the geographies, people, at the same time, different cultures. At the same time, very, very important is the businesses, how business basically works in various international market. That's very, very important. What works in India does not work in Japan. What works in Japan does not work in US. What works in US does not work in Israel. What works in Israel does not work in Europe. So the business dynamics, uh, the culture, the mindset, and thoughts, everything differs depending on the geographies, depending on the continents, and depending on the country to country. Having said that, today's topic is limited to startup opportunities, challenges, and mitigations. So I would like to take you through this journey, and I would like to keep my presentations very simple, down to earth. At the same time, I would like to confirm that the presentations which has been prepared today is a collective effort by many of my colleagues, friends, analysts, and I have taken a lot of ideas from my friends how they have been sustaining and how do they think about the Indian market or the startup market here in India. I understand that there are many facts and figures which is not available in the open forums. I also understand that the thoughts and experience which I'm going to share here is not written in any book or the form, because I'm coming from the ground reality. I have done it. I have failed. I succeeded. So those experiences are the mix of today's presentation. So with the permission, I would like to start my day today. I wish everybody a good luck if they are willing to take up any startup ideas or thoughts, so I can help anyone who is willing to take my support. Let me keep my presentation as simple as possible, and at the same time, I would like to share the fact that many of the students or the alumni who have graduated, passed out from the institute, and they are in the journey or in the thought process of starting something. Very, very important that we need to understand the definition of or the meaning of startup. Before that, it's very, very important for all of us to understand that the culture of India, basically, it's a mix of different caste, religion, colors, and whatnot. And therefore, right, if you look at the history of India, Vaishyas or the Brahmin or the Marwaris and all, they were recognized as the only businessmen. Today also, when we see the history or the success rates of the Marwaris who are doing business, how do they do it? Why they're so successful? So these are very common thoughts where we should give a serious attention to see how they have achieved certain milestones in their life. Even they are class 5 pass or class 6 pass, but they're very successful into their business because they have a clear-cut understanding what they are doing. And therefore, when we talk about the startup has got various meanings basically. In India, the word startup actually it prevailed quite late. Normally we follow US, normally we follow Europe in terms of the business flow or understanding the new concepts, the innovation, the creativity, or the inventions or the new processes and the policies. Everything is basically sometimes we get secondhand, sometimes we create in India itself. Very important to know, startup is nothing but starting up an act of business is what startup is. To have a startup, what are the important aspects to be accomplished before we get entered or get an entry into the world of startup? First of all, you should be having an idea that helps people, an idea that basically meet up the challenges of today's world, an idea that can bring a uniqueness, an idea that can give you a significant identity into the business world. That's the idea. Idea can fail, idea can succeed, But to make it successful, what are the facts that you should be keeping in your mind, and so that the word called fail or unsuccessful can be mitigated. So first of all, your idea should be unique. At the same time, your idea should be effective. At the same time, idea should be should have a longevity. An idea should have a future, and therefore, to have an idea, what do you need? Brain. Brain means knowledge, gyan. That's very, very important. Subject matter expertise. Even if you don't have a subject matter expertise, you should have a clear thought that what you are going to do. And that's the word comes the target. Who is your target audience? Who is your target market? Where is your target market? How much? Where? All these questions should be well prepared before you enter into a startup world. And most important part, that is, from where are you going to get the investment? Because for anything, any business, you need investment. From where the investment will come, right? And at the same time, once you have the investment also, it's very, very important to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, it's high chances that you will fail. And therefore, your plan should be practical. It should have a complete data. At the same time, it should have a structured plan and a strategic plan to be ready. Once you have the plan, now one word, I think all of us are aware that this word is called research. What is research is, you have an idea, you have the knowledge, and you also have decided that I'm going to start something in say, for example, electric vehicle, or I want to start something into healthcare. Am I going to have to do with the services, or I'm going to invent a product? So you have the investment, you have a target, you have a plan, you have an idea, you have a knowledge. Very important to make all this workable is the research. Have you done a proper research of the market? Have you done a thorough study of your idea? Have you fixed your target based on the certain research work already available into the market? Or the research on the investment, at what stages you will be requiring the investments, right? Once you have grown, then what kind of challenges you are going to counter? Have you ever given a serious thought to it? At the same time, have you decided the process of your organization, or have you decided the process for your startup? All this will give you a success, and that success will take you a successful startup. So that's the beginning. This is more like an ice breaking. I'm not talking anything rocket science, which I think will give you a complicated understanding. It's all based on the reality. And without complicating the word startup, I think we should have a courage. Very, very important is the courage, confidence, and at the same time, consistency in your thoughts or in your ideas. That will give you a very kickstart to set up your startup, and then you can start your journey. This slide is very important for you to keep all these words, which is depicted here, which is based on, again, from the real world. Trust me, in majority of the cases, many science, management thoughts, philosophies does not work. I can share in due course my practical experience, how we have survived in COVID situation. In management books or any kind of IITs or any IIMs or any management schools, situation of COVID has never been discussed. It's the first time we experienced, and it was a very, very unique experience, and therefore very important for us to understand to keep all these words very simply simplified manner, and by having a simplified understanding, take a journey which takes you a very safe landing, so that your startup can be successful. Now, you have an idea, you have decided that yes, I'm going to start something by my own. Very important for you to see which all areas basically you can think of. And as I have told you, idea should be very unique. It should not be a copycat. And at the same time, if you really want to make a difference in terms of startup world, you must be having any unique ideas.